welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Ed Byrne, Suk Ojla and Glenn Moore, Rhys James, Hugh Dennis and Laura Lex. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Laura, which category would you like?
I'll have health, please, Dara.
OK, your topic is health. The answer is 1 million a week. What is the question?
Is it, once we've got Brexit done, this is how many fish each Britain will be able to wade into the sea and pull out with their bare hands?
Is it at the pub this month, how many different people am I claiming are members of my household?
Is it during any given Mock the Week series, how many tweets do I get calling me an anaemic Ed Gamble?
Is this Britain's current Scotch egg consumption rate?
Is it how many times has Rita Ora broken lockdown?
Is it at his peak? How many children did Boris Johnson have?
Is it how much money Greggs lost when they tried to launch their sausage roll-on deodorant?
How many times do the Oxford University scientists say, come on, 70 to 80% is pretty good, isn't it?
Is it how many times a taxi driver has asked me where I'm really from?
I mean, but from.
From.
Is it, as a teenager, how many girls who went to a different school did I claim I got off with during the summer holidays?
Is it how many times over the Christmas period will my dad point at the radio and go, she was called by a speedboat?
Is it how many hours of true crime podcast does the average white woman listen to?
Is it how many bats am I going to fuck when all this is over?
Can I edge you towards the correct answer?
Is it how many COVID vaccines are going to be issued this month?
Yes, absolutely. That's close enough. Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you. Yes, the question I was looking for was, how many people does the government eventually hope to vaccinate against COVID-19? This is the news that the UK has become the first country in the world to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, with vaccinations beginning this week. So, the national campaign to plug microchips into old people... I mean, I said it. I can't believe I gave it away.
You were supposed to be one of the sensible celebrities.
I know. I had dinner with Bill Gates and George Soros. They talked me through the process. Yes. Who were the first people to be given the vaccine?
It was the elderly. So, firstly, congrats to Hugh.
Thank you very much.
And you remember the name of the first person to get it?
Margaret
Keenan.
Margaret Keenan, yes.
And she'd spelt it Keenan with 3 A's at the beginning, just to get to the top of the alphabet.
Margaret Aardvark. That's her name, yes. Maggie Keenan from Belfast, I think, was from Northern Ireland, anyway, age 90, was the first. Swiftly followed by...
William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. Got it.
To say he's old enough to qualify.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. William Shakespeare of Warwickshire.
You really pity the government researcher that was looking for the most patriotic named person. Scouring care homes for a Winston Churchill or a Gracie Fields to wheel the poor bastard into a nick.
If they could have found someone called Brexit Fry-Up, they'd have used it.
That Margaret Keenan must be the safest woman on the planet right now. Like, how much money is going into making sure she doesn't die of anything random?
She now lives in one of the Zorb balls, and MI6 people are just pushing her around, making sure that she doesn't go anything at all.
But she's got to get her, because you've got to get 2 doses. Do you think she's going to be disappointed if there isn't the same press pack there? It's like, she's going to walk in to get her booster, like, do you know who the fuck I am?
How soon do you think that William Shakespeare slid into Margaret Keenan's DMs?
No excuses. That's just weird, and I'm a bit freaked out by that one.
If she popped back for the second one and she's just daubed her skin in green paint, just like, now I feel fine.
You think Margaret Keenan should get a professional makeup artist to glue another ear into the middle of her forehead? No side effects at all. Sorry? Sorry? Why are you repeating everything you say?
But the fact that they're giving it to, like, over 90s means that the conspiracy theorists are going to have a field day in, like, 10 years if they're sort of like, well, why did all the 90-year-olds suddenly die 5 years later?
I can't wait for the Mastermind episode where someone's specialist subject is the life and work of William Shakespeare, and it turns out to be questions on this guy.
What was Matt Hancock's reaction to seeing William Shakespeare get the jab?
He sort of teared up on TV.
Hancock cried on, yeah, Good Morning Britain.
Well, he did an approximation of what he thinks humans look like.
They cry.
I understand you try and wipe your eyes as if they are leaking. Yes?
They say that Hancock was more like Arnold at the end of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I know now why you cried. As he was then lowered into the molten metal. Hancock gives a final Brexit thumbs up as he's slowly lowered into the flame. What are some of the logistical issues involved in delivering this vaccine?
It's got to be kept very, very cold.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Yeah.
There's always something, isn't there? Like, oh, we've got a vaccine now, but it's got to be stored insanely cold. You know, oh, you know, you can have your Christmas, but you've got to spend it with your family. This is always something. What is this photograph? What is this?
These are fridges that keep things very cold.
No, don't make me sound mad. Does your fridge look like that?
No, but my fridge is
These are slot machines.
They're great.
Is this how we get the vaccine? Are we just doing 3 cherries, you get the Pfizer one, 2 you get Moderna, anything else, lucky dip? I think
I like the way Lucky Dip was above the Oxford vaccine. There's very much a lack of support on this show for the Oxford vaccine. It's -70 has to be held up, which does leave. Often these things are kept cooled in things like, you know, blocks of CO2, you know, which is raise the possibility that you go, I'm here for my vaccine, and there'll be clouds of dry ice, and then, you know, somebody from Spandau Ballet will walk out. I just got my injection from the video for Bat Out of Hell. It was amazing.
Don't you think it's brilliant, though? Because at the moment, the only place that you can get -70 storage is in hospitals, isn't it? So they will be vaccinating people mainly in hospitals to start with, which is genius from Rishi Sunak, because with the car parking charges, the pandemic will pay for itself. It's amazing. There's no deficit at all for the next 2 years.
They're worried about care homes, though, aren't they? Like, have you ever visited a relative in a care home? They are so hot, those places. Like, by the time you've asked if Granny's still alive, your face has melted onto your shoes.
So we keep going in with them, they just keep evaporating as we get off. We've lost another one into the air.
I didn't understand that they were saying that they might have to split packs.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I fully understand what... Is it like in the pub where they sort of, you just tear the crisps open for everyone? Also, sorry, for anyone in Tier 3, a pub is where you can meet people who aren't dead.
Yeah. As well as medical professionals, who are the government targeting to help administer the vaccine?
It's going to be firefighters and airline crew members.
Airline crew members,
so
yes.
Firefighters.
Yeah.
But it's like, they should do different ones for the different jobs. The doctor should get to give out the Pfizer one, the firefighter should get to give out the Moderna one, and the vaccine from cabin crew should just be a hot towel.
Yet again, the Oxford vaccine doesn't even get a ranking.
I think it's a genius idea, though, don't you think? Just getting, like, the sexiest members of our society to administer the vaccine. It's brilliant. I mean, I'd queue around the block to have a firefighter stick his...
All right, enough.
It's really low-hanging fruit.
At the end of that round, the points go to Laura, Hugh and Reese. Now we play a round called Vax On, Vax Off. This game involves Laura and Glenn, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is technology. Who wants to come in on that? Laura.
I sort of have a real love-hate relationship with technology, because I'm addicted to Twitter, even though it makes me miserable, because I love conspiracy theories. My favourite conspiracy theory of this year is that Melania Trump has a body double for public appearances, which I think that's crazy. I think it would definitely be for the private stuff. But, like, we've needed
it, because that's the thing. That's the thing that's killed me through the lockdown, is not being able to have human connections. I'm really needy. Like, I like stand-up, but if I could do this my way, it would just be me coming round individually, sitting on each of your laps, going, "You do love me, don't you?" Like, I need affection, so I'm glued to my phone, like, who doesn't love me? But, I know you think I'm joking, but when we've done this record, we're getting in a WhatsApp group. Just... I don't know what happens, but women download WhatsApp, and then the next day you wake up and you're in 14 separate WhatsApp groups that are all made up of different combinations of the same 7 women. But there's one woman missing from each group, but you don't know which one's missing because you've given them all bizarre names based on in-jokes that you've forgotten about, and it's chaos. Your phone's beeping every 20 seconds, so you can't have that, so you have it on mute, but then you can't admit that it's on mute because that's treachery. So you have to be like, "Oh, sorry, I haven't looked at my phone all day." Yeah, like any of us haven't looked at our phone for more than 5 minutes. That's a lie. But there's nothing you can do because you can't leave a WhatsApp group, can you? So eventually what you have to do is you get your best friends and you're like, "Lucy, Sarah, come with me. We're going in our own WhatsApp group over here." And then for 2 days, it's lovely. And then Lucy goes on a night out and is like, "I just met Emma. She doesn't know anyone in the area. I'm adding her to our WhatsApp groups." No! No! If a woman has reached her mid-30s and doesn't already have a solid group of friends, it's for a reason.
Well done, Laura. Very good. That leaves us with Glenn. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. Confrontation.
I'm doing it, all right? I never used to be confrontational at all. You know, when I was growing up, I never wanted to get involved in any argy-bargy. That's short for Argentina Bargentina. But now I don't take any nonsense from anyone. Like, now I'm really open and honest. Like, whenever I get a bad haircut, for instance, so every time, whenever I get a bad haircut and I don't like the haircut, I've now finally got the guts to be able to look that hairdresser dead in the eye and say, "That's great, thank you." I'm not afraid anymore. But I never used to be. I never used to be confrontational. I remember the one time I really regretted not confronting someone was a couple of years ago. I was having a house party, and it wasn't in, like, a nice house or anything like that. I don't know if you've ever lived in a house so damp you have to keep your phone in a bowl of rice at all times. But halfway through the party, I noticed that my housemate was in the corner of a room getting really, really drunk, like obnoxiously drunk, really spoiling the party, drawing a bit of a crowd. And I went over to him and I said, "Why are you getting so drunk? You're sort of ruining the party." And he said, "Oh, sorry, Glenn, sorry. Basically, I'm just trying to drink to calm my nerves. I've got to go to hospital tomorrow for, like, a really big operation." And everyone at the party was like, "Oh, my God, are you OK?" He's a surgeon. And apparently, there's no laws against that. Did you know that it's not illegal for your surgeon to drink the night before an operation? Have we got any surgeons watching from home? No, because they're all out getting hammered. That's what I've learned. And no one knows this about surgeons. I don't trust any surgeons anymore. It ruined every night out for me since. I'd be out on a nightclub dance floor looking around the whole time thinking how many of these pieces of shit are medical professionals. And the worst thing I found out is that if you're a patient, you're not allowed to drink the night before an operation. That's messed up in the wrong way round. I don't know why surgeons have imposed that rule. Surgeons don't want you drinking the night before an operation because surgeons are worried you're going to go out clubbing and bump into them. I mean, it makes sense. Why's your doctor's handwriting so messy? He's got the shakes from last night. Your surgeon's only scrubbing up before an operation. He's trying to get rid of the nightclub stamp from the back of his wrist. That's the only reason. But obviously, I didn't confront him because, you know, I was a timid person. I'm not like other 28-year-olds. Well, I'm 31, but, like, I think I was always nervous about confronting people because I was always very shy. I was always very neurotic, you know. I'm one of those people, you know, I can't pee unless I can hear a tap running, you know, and I can't shit unless I can hear lasagna being dropped into the bath.
Thank you very, very much. Well done, both of you. Points there for Laura. Come on. Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is it when you're so wasted you just walk up to the McDonald's drive-thru?
Is this nurse saying, "Once again, Mr. Johnson, we did not ask you for a sperm sample"?
Is the nurse saying, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, that the freezer broke? That is literally all the vaccine we have left.
I think it's at London Zoo, they've got a new bastard enclosure.
Well, they'll have no difficulty making him breed.
From the expression on his face, it looks like he's saying, that's quite big for a suppository.
Is that the amount of EU waters we're going to be allowed to fish in?
Is this what it's like ordering a pint in Tier 3?
Judging by, the expression on his face, it looks like she's saying to him, yes, it's positive. You're going to have to contact all your former sexual partners.
This is very similar to the face that I make when I see the table next to me get their starters before me, even though they arrived after me.
Anyone with a quick answer?
Yes, that's Boris Johnson.
Indeed it is. Thank you very much, Hugh. You're very kind. Yes, this is British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who has found himself under pressure this week as intense Brexit trade negotiations between the UK and the European Union go down to the wire. At the time of recording, a trade deal has yet to be struck, and Johnson admitted that it looked very, very difficult. What have been the big sticking points during the negotiation?
I've absolutely no idea about Brexit. I stopped watching in Series 2. It is the problem, though, is the 92nd crucial week in Brexit.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
We are heading for a trade deal, but it is very much going to be the petrol station flowers of trade deals, isn't it? So,
I feel like we've been coming up with crucial moments of Brexit at a rate of like a million a week. Can we do the first round again?
The problem at the moment, supposedly, isn't it, is that the French are playing hardball, aren't they? Which shows how little we know about Europe. It's called pétanque.
The reason it's dragged on, right, the problem is that it's British people negotiating, right, and we are famously too polite to say no. Right, so everything, because in English, right, if you want to say in English, absolutely not, the phrase you say is, yeah, could do. Tell you what, I'll have a think about it, right? Michel Barnier must leave every meeting going, oh, they're going to have a think about it. This is progress. And isn't the president of the European Commission that we're negotiating with called Ursula von der Leyen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so we're really trying to negotiate with someone called Ursula over how much of our sea we get to keep.
There's like definite like rejected Disney movie vibes about this, especially with the whole thing ending on New Year's Eve, like at midnight. It's very much kind of like, well, if you don't reach a deal, you shall be banished to live with Nigel Farage forevermore.
The problem we've got is there's only one way to get anything done in this country, and it's just a shame that Marcus Rashford didn't grow up wishing for a Brexit deal.
Are you even listening to us, Dara?
To be honest, I'm not. I'm using the Zoom audience to play Guess Who with Ed. Ed, does your person have Christmas decorations in their Zoom shot?
No, mine doesn't have Christmas decorations.
OK, everyone, Christmas decorations. Turn off your Zoom, turn off your Zoom. OK, that narrows down my guess. Are you going to go for it, or what are you going to do?
I think I'm ready to make a guess.
Go on, what is it?
Is yours David?
It is, David. Well done, very good. Actually, sorry, can I stop that round of applause for 1 second? Can I stop that round of applause? The guy with the bowler hat who's now doing thumbs up looks like someone from A Clockwork Orange, and it's really freaky, right? That was sweet, and now he's like a droog, and he's in a milk bar, and it's like really hideously violent, and it's going to go wrong. Stop doing that! It makes it weirder when you do that. In other news, how did a Hungarian MEP break lockdown rules in Brussels recently?
Oh, he went to a sex party.
He did go to a sex party.
He went to a, I think they called it a gay daddy orgy.
His name is Josef Scheier, founding member of Viktor Orban's right-wing anti-gay Fidesz party, and was caught at an orgy in Brussels, which was described by the organiser as a daddy orgy. Which, look, I know that in the gay community that may mean something and may have a whole other characterisation, like, but to me it just means that it's just those dads at an orgy and somebody comes up to one of the dads and goes, I'm really horny, and he goes, hello, really horny, I'm John. And it's just a night of dad jokes and dads going from room to room in the orgy, turning off the lights if there's no one in that room, and making sure the heating is down in the orgy. I'm not heating Brussels here. Turning down.
He's a founder member of the far-right party, and he says he wants his mistake to be seen in context of his 30 years of service. Yeah, that makes it worse. Because his 30 years of service was voting against gay marriage and voting against gay people being allowed to adopt. That makes it all the more galling that he should... Is it one of those things where he's like, to defeat the gay, I must think like a gay?
It makes me think, then, is Jeremy Corbyn secretly a rabbi?
Closeted homophobic politicians always go so extreme with their big reveal, don't they? It's never just like, oh, this homophobic politician was caught stealing a kiss under the moonlight.
My favourite part about the orgy in question here is that the police tried to break it up, and apparently they thought they were like strippers as well, so they were trying to undress the police as well. But I think the police didn't help themselves when they walked in saying, my name's Officer Hardbody and I'm looking for a very naughty MP.
I mean, it was a gay orgy where loads of men arrived in police uniforms and they didn't believe them. No, you're really taking this role play seriously, aren't you?
To be fair, though, because there were 25 of them there, weren't there? And then when they left, they got €225 fines, which is only €9 a shag.
Also, the guy who ran the orgy said that he reckons there was a tip-off by the police by a guy who runs a rival orgy. What is Brussels like that there are rival sex parties?
Who knew West Side Story could get more gay?
I think Brussels, because of its community of people, diplomats, people passing through, like whatever.
But can't all these orgies just get along?
Is this why Brexit negotiations are taking so long? Because they've decided to make them tantric?
At the end of that round, the point to Exig and Glenn. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is things a sports commentator would never say.
Oh, and he's finished that race in just under 2 hours. A gruelling finish for the 100 metres and a very disappointing performance from Captain Tom.
And congratulations to my mum, who's taking home the gold medal for passive aggression.
And there he is, he's crossed the line. That jockey has just won the Grand National. He must feel 5 feet tall.
And there we have it. We finally know who has won the Ashes. Some said a tombola at a funeral was inappropriate, but it's what she would have wanted.
Well, with 3 sixes like that in a row, you have to ask, is Satan the one-day batsman England have been looking for?
It's 2046. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
And Hamilton has the lead, and look how excited his dog is.
Tonight we have coverage of the England men's team.
Well, that is a wild throw in the javelin. That is huge. Very difficult to tell where that javelin's going. Where is that javelin?
And he's reaching, and he's almost got it. And yes, Harry Potter has the golden snitch. Of course he has, the smug prick.
And that is exactly why they call him a fox in the box. A great finish, followed by shitting and screaming.
Well, that was a very delayed decision on VAR. But yes, Geoff Hurst's goal did cross the line.
Oh, and that's a firm backhand. Although I like to try reasoning with the staff.
What's the name of the guy taking the penalty? Can you find it out for me? Oh, it's gone in! Goal!
Liverpool in their away costumes there, just making their way backstage for the interval.
And what a fascinating end to the snooker. He went red, then blue, and then the ambulance arrived to take him away.
Andy Murray there with a soft lob. Happens to the best of us.
And as the lights go out for the start of this nighttime Singapore Grand Prix, the drivers shout, "Please turn the lights on, we can't see a fucking thing."
The next topic is unlikely things to hear on a property show.
Now, this next property's got a bit of showbiz sparkle. Now, do you know David Tennant? Well, the guy he played, Dennis Nilsson, used to live here.
Now, an excellent way to check if it is a load-bearing wall is to knock it down and see what happens.
Storage is often a problem, but not for me. I am Kevin McICloud.
And of course, we've got the extra room, you know, thinking about the longer term, if you want to get married and have babies, if, you know, that's something you're interested in.
This week on Location, 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 we're in Basingstoke, Basingstoke, Basingstoke.
Next up on BBC London, we've got Escape to the Country. And on BBC Somerset, it's Defend the Village from Towny Buggers.
Now, this clever couple swapped their tiny one-bed for a south-facing, detached 426-bed by simply moving to Benson's for Beds.
Now, we have had a couple of issues with the garden. We've managed to clear away most of the Japanese knotweed, but I don't know how familiar you are with quicksand.
After this millennial couple stopped buying posh lattes for an entire year, they had saved enough money for one massive latte.
And there's also the option of a fire in the living room if you need the insurance money.
Well, I asked the vendor what he thought of your offer, and he told me to shove it up your arse.
And we've been able to convert this one-bedroom flat into a three-bedroom flat just by putting a bed in the kitchen and the toilet.
I see you've put a cellar on your must-haves. Is that because you're alcoholics or perverts?
John has always wanted to convert a lighthouse, but the project has been on and off for years.
Get out! Get out!
This week on A Place in the Sun, we feature a couple who speak a second language and buy the house.
Now, you said you wanted to be near a school. How many little ones do you have? OK, how many are you expecting to have? I'm going to have to call the police, sir.
Of course, we're not sure if they're serious buyers, but when they're finished having a shit, we'll ask them.
At the end of that round, the points go to Ed, Suk and Glenn. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Glenn Moore, Suk Ojla and Ed Byrne. Commiserations to Rhys James, Hugh Dennis and Laura Lex. Thanks for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Get your ears around some frank, funny and feisty sex chat. Brown Girls Do It Too, available on BBC Sounds. And over on iPlayer, a thoroughly charming sitcom to get you through the winter. Him and Her, streaming now.
Welcome! Shoes off.
I have a fungal infection. Merry Christmas.